What's up, YouTube? Jay Traveling here. Today I want to talk about a couple of the rumors and things that may or not have been announced by Nvidia. Um, you have a 3080 20 gigabyte card and a 3060 coming out, and also a 3070 Ti that has been rumored. People don't know exactly the specs, but definitely some good speculation that these are coming up in the near future. So let's check them out. All right, so here in this article, you see the 3080 20 gigabyte and 3060 leak. Pretty much a big attack on the Navi cards. So the 3080 that's being rumored here with a 20 gigabyte VRAM instead of the 10 that was just released. You know, that's a pretty big jump, doubling the VRAM. That makes it, you know, is it even worth getting the 10 gigabyte one versus the 20 gigabyte? I mean, the reality of it is, unless you're 4K gaming, 20 gigabytes of VRAM isn't really going to show you that much. If you're at 1440p, I mean, at 1440p, I have trouble just pushing it to like 6 gigabytes in most AAA title games. So, I mean, 10 gigabytes of VRAM for just gaming is good. From a mining standpoint, 20 gigabytes of VRAM would definitely be, something you want to look for. Memory in it for a lot of algorithms is crucial. But you see also down here, you'll see an RTX 3070 with 16 gigabytes of VRAM. So it's either going to be a Super or Ti model. It would be awesome if they went with the Ti model. I really liked how they did the 1070 Ti's and 1080 Ti's, and I'm not as huge a fan of the Super. Just a personal opinion on how they're naming it. So a 3070 Ti or Super would be great. I'm assuming they'd probably go along the same with the 20 gigabyte of 3080 Ti or 3080 Super. It was a little odd that with the 1060s, they just did a 1063 gigabyte and a 1066 gigabyte later. It made it pretty much useless. Not useless, because a 1063 gigabyte still a pretty good budget graphics card. But they should have just never. It's almost to the point where they should have never even made it. Just had the 1066 gigabyte, and then you have the 3060, which they're now the rumors are saying they want to release it sooner than later. Makes sense because of the new AMD cards coming out. So this is rumored. I did see to be an 8 gigabyte card, the 3060, and here you see a trade show in China that actually lists these. You have a 3090, 3080, 20 gigabyte, 3080, 10 gigabyte with their SKUs, 3070 and a 3060 over here. And you see on the charts here like what they're comparable to. So your 3070 is like right near that 2080 Ti performance. But then they're saying the 3060 is going to be on par with the 2080 performance. So you're looking at, if I had to speculate, probably like a $450 to $500 USD graphics card performing just like an RTX 2080, which was around the $800 mark. And then more about the 3080 20 gigabyte card, the 16 gigabyte card. So I mean, this rumor is really catching traction. Here we have a table of CUDA cores. So the 3060, they don't know. They're still unsure of the CUDA cores. 3060 Ti or Super, they're saying 4,864 CUDA cores is rumored to be in it with 8 gigabytes of GDDR6. So here it is, a 3060 regular 6 gigabytes of VRAM, they're saying is what's rumored. And then the 3060 Ti/Super's 8 gigabytes of VRAM. But then you see the 3070 with the 8 gigabytes of VRAM, like it says, in the 3070 Ti with 16, 3080 with 10, and the 3080 Ti and Super with 20. So they don't have question marks next to these, so I'm assuming these are confirmed. They have very good beliefs that that's what's going to be in the 3080 Super and the 3070 Super. So that's good news if that is confirmed. They don't know the CUDA cores of the 3080 Super, according to this article. And then it looks like 6144 is what's speculated to be in the 3070 Super. And then the 3090, you obviously have it's on a level of its own, 24 gigabytes of VRAM. I'm really eager to see. I saw some hash rates from online of this at stock performance at just over 100 mega hash a second. So I'm eager to see when some miners get their hands on this 3090 of what it can do. Along with the 3080, I saw some up into the 80 mega hash a second with an overclock at I think it was like 200 and some odd watts per card. I'm eager to see some miners get their hands on this and see if they can push it a little further. And then you have another article on the 3080 with 20 and 3060, same performance as the RTX 2080 with the same chart. So obviously this article saying it's no surprise that they put out a 3060 because they did it with pretty much every single line. They had the 1060 to 2060, so it's no surprise that they put out a 3060. The TIs and Supers, I just don't see them coming out as fast as people think or may hope they want to. With the Supers, I mean, they came out probably a year after the launch, I would say, of the 2080s and 2070s. I mean, I could be wrong on that launch date. I'd have to look it up, but I feel like it was about a year afterwards. So the 3080s with the 10 gigabytes of VRAM. So if they do upgrade this to 20 gigabytes, which it sounds like they're pretty confident that they're going to, I mean, that's a pretty big jump in the 3080s. I could see a lot of people dumping their 3080s with 10 gigabytes to get the 20 gigabyte model once it's out. And then, I mean, the 3060, in my opinion, is going to be a really good card, along with the 3070. I know the 3070 hasn't launched yet, and that's coming out in October. The 3080 launched and the 3090 just launched, which is out of control. I mean, you can't even get your hands on either of their cards right now. The 3070 is probably going to be the same way with the price to performance that you're getting if you're looking at this chart. I mean, we can look it up right now. Of what? So Nvidia's going rate for that is $499 for the RTX 3070, which means the 3060 I would speculate to be around $399 if that's the case. So for $399, then you're getting 2080 performance. So I did buy before an RTX 2080. It was not a Founders Edition, it was a blower style. It was out of an Alienware computer. Some guy sold it to me really cheap. And I had it in my computer, and that thing performed awesome. Definitely a great graphics card. So a 3060 can match that performance. And you're looking at usually I'm going to speculate $100 less than the 3070 at $399. So for $400 US, you can get 2080 performance. That's going to be a very big jump. Now, with 6 gigabytes of VRAM, that might be pushing it a little bit with 1440p gaming, which if you have that good of a GPU, you really want to step up to 1440p, in my opinion. It's a lot for a 1080p panel. That's going to be pushing a lot of frames per second. So 1440p with RTX 2080 performance, that's definitely, I would think, the resolution you want to be at. And 6 gigabytes of VRAM might be pushing it a little bit. That's why I think the Super is going to have 8 gigabytes. 8 gigabytes is definitely a good sweet spot. I don't think it's too little, but I also don't think it's too much. I mean, when you get to 20 gigabytes of VRAM, I just think it's a lot of VRAM for gaming, at least at this point in time. Maybe a little bit later on down the line, they'll be pushing out a little more with their ray tracing. I actually don't use my ray tracing in any of my games, so I don't know on offhand or anything of how much gigabytes that would actually use as far as VRAM. When I get a better graphics card like a 3080 or a 3090, then I'll probably start using ray tracing just because I have the headroom. Right now with a 2070, I'd rather have the frames per second, even though it's only a few, than have the ray tracing right now. But I mean, that's just some rumors that I've seen, some articles I've seen around. Thanks for checking this video out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you think the 3060 or 3060 Ti is going to be a good graphics card to buy, or if people are going to be dumping their 3080 10 gigabytes for 3080 20 gigabytes. The 3070 and 3070 Ti, that's going to be a great middle ground, great price of performance. This whole 3000 series of GPUs that Nvidia's putting out just has great performance all around. You really can't go wrong with which one you get. Let me know in the comments of which one you plan on picking up. If you're going to wait for one, or you're just trying to get one as soon as you possibly can. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for checking the channel out, and stay tuned for more.